we like to analyze, many facets of this reality, and I love the wild and crazy. To me, some people look out into space and they see a calculator. They see numbers and a system that looks like it, does its thing. And then people look out in awe and are like, oh my God, they see divinity. They see something divine and special.
They see it like that
magic.
Like that kid from American Beauty. He was crying at a bag blowing in the wind.
Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin, back at it again. In this one, we've got a reaction video on this new understanding of the universe. You think, the scientists had it, but I guess they didn't have it. The James Webb satellite that they sent out into space is showing them images that are making them question what they thought about the universe. So we're going to take a look at this NBC news video. It's kind of like an interview with a famous scientist, and they're going to tell us about this newfound info. Fascinating.
And next, my favorite kind of story in life is the kind that reminds us that we are nowhere near as close to as smart as we think we are. And oh boy, does this next one do exactly that. You know that golden telescope we humans built that's taking some mind-blowing pictures of space right now? Well, it turns out it's so powerful, it might have just shattered our understanding of the universe. We've all heard about how the new James...
Just right quick. You take for granted some of those images. There's space, and it's like, wait a sec, man, what are we looking at here?
I know.
Those are celestial bodies.
I know, that's crazy. And the vastness and the distance. I don't even know if your mind can process. If you were out there, with the telescope looking, you'd be it would be something totally different.
You know what my favorite phobia is? Astrophobia. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
There's a phobia of space. Something
which is understandable, man. I think when who's the Star Trek guy who went up into space with Bezos? He was from the original Star Trek. I always forget that guy's name.
Spock?
No, the captain.
William Shatner?
Well, yeah, he went out and he cried when he looked out into the vastness of space.
He's pretty dramatic.
Yeah,
just
kidding. But it's so intense. When you get out there and you're oh my God, the vastness. It's just, it's incredible.
Awe-inspiring, right?
And those images there, you're just seeing an image on a screen, but it's so much more than that. But anyway, let's continue.
Webb telescope is kind of like a time machine because it can look back to the early formation of the universe. And it's been doing just that. It has taken pictures of 6 galaxies that are some of the oldest that we've seen, but they're a little hazy, and there's a lot going on in these images. Bear with us. For one, when you're looking at these things, they're supposed to be from the beginning of time as we know it, and they're not supposed to be all that well formed. Well, guess what? These are looking a lot bigger and a lot more developed than we thought. And why does that matter? Well, for one thing, it could pretty much rewrite a whole bunch of astrophysics textbooks. So, of course, we called up the legendary theoretical physicist Michio Kaku.
Isn't that funny how, we're taught, especially nowadays, we live in a very scientific-y time where it's trust the science and the science. And we forget, I think, sometimes that is constantly evolving. That things that you thought were so sure and can be obliterated in the blink of an eye with one new finding.
Right. And you can Google it. There are degrees of infinity. Infinity is not just infinity. There's infinity plus. Good luck wrapping your mind around that. You probably can't.
Yeah.
It was just your little mind.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, they've worked it out. I don't have a reference on me at hand.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It's crazy, man.
It's paradoxical. It's anyway.
Yeah.
The futurist who always has me dreaming of the cosmos and the author of a bunch of books that might need to be tweaked now if it turns out that the universe is older than we think. Hey, Professor, I'm thinking of some of my favorites, the God equation, physics of the future, future of humanity. Most of them say the universe is about 13 billion years old. What if it's not?
Well, that's the problem. The James Webb Space Telescope is upsetting the apple cart. All of a sudden, we realize that we may have to rewrite all the textbooks about the beginning of the universe. Now, it takes many billions of years to create a galaxy, like the Milky Way galaxy, with 100 billion stars, many billions of years old. But the James Webb Telescope has identified 6 galaxies that exist half a billion years after the Big Bang that are up to 10 times bigger than the Milky Way galaxy. That shouldn't happen. There should not be primordial galaxies that are bigger than the Milky Way galaxy that are only half a billion years old.
So would that mean, that means then that the universe is way older than what, I think that's what they're alluding to, is that the universe would be way, way older than what they claim to be 17 billion years. But I always shake my eyes roll back into my head when people say, like, the universe is 17 billion years old. I'm like, how do you know that? I'm like, because
I was a little distracted actually because I was imagining somebody being like, "Oh, try to understand the infinity," and like going and doing some coming back to the comments. So sucker, got ya. I'm saying, of course, you can research how and explain it to me. Don't and maybe you still want to do that if it's going to edify all of us. Go nuts.
Yeah.
But I could just picture somebody being like, I could explain that. I could, or
Maybe.
disprove it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just it's funny because, and that's just how far they can see.
Yeah.
Like they have a telescope
Right.
and they're like, whoa, okay, that's like not at all what we thought was out there.
Yeah.
But like, what if you could see the infiniteness beyond that? I have a feeling my internal clock or my body tells me that it's infinite. I think it's infinite. I think it just goes forever. And
or it's all a big illusion. Or it's just like,
they actually allude to that.
Well, so that I look smart.
Yeah.
What if it's like, in a video game, like a first-person video game, how it's not really that the whole... I've heard this talked about before, so I think I'm right, that it appears as the person turns, right? It becomes as you look at it. And it sounds like they're maybe going to allude to that idea that I had, even though maybe that I derived that conclusion from other things I've seen.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's let them continue.
Something is wrong. We may have to revise our theory of the creation of the universe.
And so we're possibly looking at a universe that's much older than we think it is, and we're also possibly looking at maybe this is an optical illusion. Are those the two options here?
That's right. Some people say it's an optical illusion. You see, according to Einstein, gravity can act like glass. The glass, of course, you can make a magnifying glass. With gravity, you too can bend space and time to create a gravity a magnifying lens. So you think that these galaxies are huge when they're actually baby galaxies. Now, I personally think that the solution to the problem is these are not baby galaxies at all. They're actually monstrous black holes. Black holes that formed after the instant of creation. That's baffling scientists because they don't fit in the normal sequence of the birth of a galaxy. So I personally think that we're actually looking at monster black holes where perhaps new laws of physics are emerging. And again, if you can figure all this out, there could be a Nobel Prize waiting for you.
I'm sorry,
New law? Did he just say that?
Yeah.
New laws of physics are emerging?
Yeah, like crazy, wacky. And the whole idea of like a black hole at the center of these galaxies that are like millions of times bigger than our sun. Like, that's horrifying.
We're so not the right people to be like, well, you're getting people that are mystified and intrigued by this, but I'm sure there are people that can put this together in a way that makes a lot of scientific sense.
Yeah. Well, hey, we like.
I don't even understand half the shit the guy's saying.
We like to analyze, the many facets of this reality, and I love the wild and crazy. To me, like, some people look out into space and they see a calculator. They see numbers and a system that looks like it, does its thing. And then people look out in awe and are like, oh my God, Yeah. It's they see divinity. They see something divine and special.
They see it like that
magic,
like that kid from American Beauty. Like, he was crying at a bag blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're saying that these galaxies, these 6 galaxies that look kind of like galaxies, are actually black holes?
Yeah, that's one theory, because we think that at the center of our own Milky Way galaxy, there is a raging black hole that is 2 to 3 million times more massive than our sun. In fact, we now believe that at the center of almost every galaxy in the universe, there's a monstrous black hole that could be millions to billions of times more massive than our own sun.
What the hell is what's a black hole? Do you know?
I would be rambling meaninglessly if I tried to explain. Like I've watched stuff on black holes before. I just thought it was like heavy mass condensed, and it's so dense that it pulls in even light.
A lot of opportunities for jokes in the comment.
You guys can make fun of us.
Raging black hole. Like, come on.
So there you have it. The universe is not what we thought it was.
And the laws of physics new laws of physics are emerging. That's all I'm walking away with. La 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 la.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
Ignorant country bumpkin.
It's magical. It's magical.
Yeah, well, it is kind of magical, and what's that term? Any science that is not understood how it works is perceived as magic or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know. Hey, guys, maybe you can tell us a little bit about this situation. If you know anything, you can inform us on it. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a comment, hit the like, subscribe, share with a friend, and everybody, until next time, stay spiritual.